Now that 2025 is coming to an end, I ask you, what are you doing now? What have you done? What do you plan to do to make 2026 not suck so bad? I'm just saying, something to think about. We're only 8 days away from the new year, 2 days from Christmas. And yeah, there's a lot of things that we could all be doing, hopefully, that aren't keeping us in the same circle and hopefully moving the peg forward. So we'll do this thing. We'll be right back and we'll see how you guys are doing.
Paying too much for trucking insurance? What if you could save more by making one simple phone call and keep more profit? You could very well do just that with one simple call to Seabright Agency, 800-366-6466. Call now.
Now here's a question that all owner-operators and small fleet owners should consider. What happens when you access the unrivaled advantages that are available through the ES Advantage program? We asked Jeff and Charley from Contractors Corner to share their thoughts on how they've been able to utilize the discounts and services that are a part of the ES Advantage.
So we started looking for a way to save money on fuel. And we were turned on to the ES Advantage program for fuel first. And so we got a hold of Jeff Reese, and he ran us through that program. And man, we were starting to save. And then we started talking to them. Well, we saw their website, and we said, Jeff, what's this thing about insurance and accounting and
right.
You lease trucks? What?
Right. And that's the thing, is we only knew it as a fuel card. And when we started digging deeper, I mean, we ended up getting hooked up with an insurance provider, Seabright Agency, and they created an entire insurance program just for us and our people. And from that, we've learned that, now there's even more potential. There's a greater opportunity, and it's completely opened up our eyes and broadened our vision into what it is we're trying to do, which is help people do better. Wrapped with the ES community just makes that process so much easier.
Now, if you're an owner-operator or small fleet owner and you would like to learn more about how you can drive savings to the bottom line of your business, the ES Advantage program has the discounts and services that deliver the kind of unrivaled advantages that are designed to help you improve your overall operation. Get connected with the ES Advantage today.
Well, hey, we're back. Look at that. Hey, Jeff.
Hey, man.
So, yeah, that's what we're going to do today. We're going to try and dip into what kind of things you guys might be planning or already have done to try and make the 26-year different than the 25-year, not in the negative way, right? So, real quick, Donna came in first and checked in first. That was cool. Hi, Donna. And then it was Craig Yo, of course, who had a beautiful baby boy this past week. That was fantastic. 7 pounds, 4 ounces, if I remember correctly. Turker Tim checked in and then said he was going to go watch this on the replay. So should he count as third? I don't think so, but maybe. I don't know. Sean, good to see you. Who else we got? Matt. Yeah, there's more people. I'm sorry. Undertaker. Yeah, hi, guys. So that's what we're going to do. Hope you guys are having an okay week. Hope those of you who are able to get home for Christmas or want to be home for Christmas are able to do that. Those of you who are out there sleighing on the roads, I'll be back out Christmas night, running freight, probably up to Alabama, I hope. No guarantees. Who knows? I could be going south last. That's funny. I could be going south, which is not super profitable, but it's warmer.
What was it like in the 80s the other day, right?
Yeah, dude. So my first day out, I headed south. It was 84 degrees. That night on the way up, we went up to Huntsville, and it was 29 degrees.
Nice.
And the next day, we went back down to south, and it was 83 degrees. And then we went back up north, and it was like, 30-something. Someone's trying to get me to catch pneumonia. That's what it is. I'm convinced of this, that someone wants me to get pneumonia somehow. I don't know if that's really true, going from hot, cold, but whatever. That's what your mom used to say back when you were little. So I'm going with that. And Ida's trying to kill me.
You know what it was in Salt Lake yesterday?
What?
67.
That's insane, man. You guys out there in your shorts and flip-flops, right?
Yeah.
Good Lord. Dude, you were saying it's going to be a rough year for you guys.
Yeah, there's no snow up on the pass right now, which we rely on that for the water,
Yeah. That's going to be gnarly, man. Oh, Sean's going to be in Vegas for New Year's. I don't even know what day New Year's is. I'm just saying. I haven't even looked that far out. When is the 1st?
Next Thursday.
Oh, there you go. I'll be working. You know why? Because it's a Thursday, and that's the day I go back to work. Hey, I'll be home for New Year's Eve, I guess. Because, us old people, whatever. I can't remember the last time we were up for New Year's, 3, 2, 1. Right?
I think it was probably in high school. We used to go to dances on New Year's Eve.
Right? Vegas and New Year's was something to experience one time in my life. Never go back for that. I'm just saying. Good luck, Sean. Don't get out on the strip, bro. Just saying.
Pretty bad.
I there wasn't even enough room to throw elbows.
Oh, wow.
Anxiety was, man, it was up there, dude. Even my son Richie, his anxiety went crazy. Couple of us got pinned in a corner between a swinging fence and a stable fence.
Oh,
and I just had to start muscling through to get things because that's what Dad does.
Yep.
Had to save the kids. It was gnarly, dude. Experience it one time, great. Never have to go back and do it again. It was interesting. That's what I can say. Got a convention load delivered. Hey, Sean had the opportunity to pull a load up to Fort Richardson. Is that it? Fort Richardson, I think, Alaska. From North Carolina.
Oh.
23 grand.
Okay.
Said he missed out on it because he didn't have passport. There's a ferry that goes out of Washington.
Yeah.
Depending on what that ferry costs. Just saying. You don't need a passport because it never touches Canadian soil. I thought about that one time. I was like, That would be cool. I'd have to look into that. And then I never looked into the price of what the ferry is.
That'd be a long ferry ride, wouldn't it?
Yeah, but
You have to
think
log
of the
on
fuel
duty for
mileage
that?
you save.
You have to log on duty for that?
Sleeper berth.
Because with the ELD, it's going to show different position, right?
See, I think you could log. If the ferry doesn't require you to stay with the truck,
Mm-hmm.
right? It's secured. It's parked. They're moving it, not you. It's like putting it on a train.
Right.
I think you could log off. And if you're allowed to stay in the truck, I think you could log sleeper berth. And if they pulled up the GPS routing on it, they'd be like, yeah, we see you didn't drive across the water. Okay.
Yep.
So
It's an interesting question, though, isn't it?
yeah, but you're advancing the load, Sean, but
you're not advancing load.
right, and you're not utilizing personal conveyance, so who cares? You're either off or sleeper berth.
Yep.
I mean, you could go on duty every now and then just to, go check the truck out, make sure it's secure, load secure, all that kind of stuff. Because are you doing flatbed or what are you doing, Sean? I don't even know what you're doing over there at Mercer. Van, drop deck, something. But Sean said he's now going to go get himself a passport. So I mean, that's the thing. That's a positive move for a trucking company in 26 to come. Good on you.
Yep.
That was a fantastic. He asked me if I would take that load. And I said, depending on the cost to get there and back, yes.
My only concern would be getting out of there.
I'm looking at it as round trip for that cost. That's what I'm looking at.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I can get something out, great. That's a bonus.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like taking freight into Florida.
Right.
If you get a rate that's good to get you in and out, then anything you get out is just gravy on taters. I don't know. Be the same as a record ride, 23. No, because in a record ride, you have to log on duty, and I don't think you'd have to do that on a ferry. I don't know. It's weird. That would be an interesting thing.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to ask this question now. Come on, AI for the win. Let's see what GPT says. If I am having my class 8 commercial vehicle with freight loaded, transported on an ocean ferry, how do the regs say I should log the time? I think that's a good question. Let's see. It's thinking. It's an extended thinking. I want it to go deep. It's clarifying hours of service logging during ferry transport. Just saying. I love how it asks itself little questions and makes statements to itself like it's reasoning out the process. You ever pay attention to that, Jeff?
Yeah.
I love that. It's checking CVSA, FMCSA, DOT. I think it's leaning towards where I am. Going by the statements it's making. It's making the same arguments I did to itself, and this is fantastic. We'll let it go and we'll come back. 23,000 you can afford to come back out. That's what I'm thinking. As long as you don't have some weird permitting issues or something like that. I mean, I don't know what the load was or what it would require to get up there. I honestly don't know what costs are associated to that.
Yeah.
I mean, that would require some research, of course. Craig's probably a good person to ask, actually, because Craig used to run Alaska. All right, if you're operating under USF FMCSA hours of service, 49 CFR 395, and your Class 8 CMB loaded is being transported on an ocean ferry, the right log status depends on one thing. The rule of thumb the regs use. You may log ferry transit time as off-duty only if you are completely relieved from work and from all responsibility obligation to the motor carrier while you're on the ferry. And that relief is consistent with the ferry company plus U.S. Coast Guard rules. You should log it on as on duty, not driving, if you're truly not relieved. For example, you must stay with and attend the truck or cargo, remain available, ready to act for the carrier, do work tasks tied to the load vehicle, checks paperwork, instructions, etc. That's because on-duty time, including being in readiness to work until you're relieved from work, is a responsibility. Yeah. I think that's legit.
So at Panther, I'd have to log that on duty.
Yeah. Yeah, basically. It says there's two gotchas that change everything. If you're hauling hazmat or any load ferry policy that requires attendance, you usually can't claim you're fully relieved. That pushes the ferry time to on duty, not driving, because you still have responsibility. Waiting time at the terminal is on duty unless you're explicitly relieved from duty. So waiting to pull your truck onto the ferry, be on duty.
I'm not sure you can even put a hazmat load on that ferry.
Right. FMCSA's own hours of service guidance boils down off duty down to you are relieved of all duty, responsibility, and free to pursue your own activities. If that's not true on the ferry, log on duty, not driving. Nice. There you go. Hi, Ida. I almost made it home before you started. Good job. Hey, Dennis, what's going on? Since the truck isn't running, I would say off duty. Again, depends on everything else, I mean, there's a lot of little clarifications in there, and I think that's interesting to learn. So, what are we doing next year, y'all? I've got quite a few things that are not just my trucking business stuff that I'm trying to be proactive on now to make next year better. I've been doing a ton of learning since August about AI stuff. I mean, you guys have seen me just go completely nuts about it. Ways to implement AI in all of the businesses and brands that Jeff and I are associated to, either together or individually. Trying to make things work, taking classes, doing experiments, trying to run better ways to keep my numbers more lean and better tracked. The app we built this year, I think some of those things will help people if they actually actively use them. I think the app is going to be even better once we start building it out a little bit further. Not that it's bad now, but I think that there's more we can do with it. Oh, and by the way, if anybody noticed an issue, I noticed an issue with the app trying to add a fuel up on my phone. For some reason, when you go to add a fuel entry, the screen does a weird zoomy thing. And the pop-up, the window for the fuel entry, I have to zoom out or zoom in to actually be able to see it, because it's weird, man. I don't know how that happened or when that happened, but when I tried to put fuel in the other day, I was like, what now? So I'll try and get that fix put in, get that reformatted for the mobile version and make it better. It's not broken. You just may not see it. So try shrinking or expanding the screen one way or the other. I can't remember which way. If you're trying to put a fuel up in and you don't see it, and it just looks like a fuzzy screen, that's what it was. It's some sort of formatting issue when we go to mobile. So I will get that sorted out tonight or tomorrow, and that'll be awesome. Dennis Lewis, good evening, Charlie and Jeff. And hello, everyone else. Sitting here at Outback Steakhouse in Tampa, Florida. Nice. Getting back on the truck next year. Back to lease purchase. Okay. Hey, Ida, if you're still there, if you guys don't have to use me Thursday night, you don't have to use me. If you need me, by all means, make me work. Just saying. Don't feel obligated just because I offered to work. I mean, it is my normal night to come back to work. So,
You'll be working, Charlie. You won't be happy unless you are.
One way or the other. Let's be real. Sean said finishing up a run, Arlington, Texas to Savage, Minnesota, and be home tomorrow afternoon. Good for you, Sean. I'm glad. So the rest of you guys, I mean, what are you doing? I know we're gonna have kind of a light audience tonight just because of the holiday and everything else. But what are you guys doing to push the needle forward for next year? Like, what did you learn from this year that you can carry forward into next? Undertaker, my dispatcher told me today she loved me. That's nice. I know, Ida. I'm just throwing it out there. Just crazy. Is it those ones we were talking about? Is that the New Year's stuff? Firing your wife. Okay. Careful there. That could come with a 50% loss of everything.
Yep.
Sorry. Oh, okay. Flowers? Sorry, speaking code. She's going to Uber, so when I'm home, we still have income. Nice. Oh, man. Wait. He can't fire Rosie. We need a logbook. Yeah, I'm not firing a wife. Sean's firing a wife. That's right. I need Rosie's logbook. I mean, I need my baby to be there. That's not right. I just trying to get me in trouble.
Yep.
Regular loads. What? You're confusing me now. Now I'm lost.
Isn't that just a normal state for you?
Sometimes, especially when it comes to Ida, because she says things sometimes, and I'm like, I think she does it to me on purpose. I think even when she's not doing it intentionally, she's doing it intentionally. Something. Kind of plans you planning on for this coming year, Jeff? Anything you can? Look, we picked this topic today, by the way, in a meeting we were in earlier. We're just like, let's talk about this tonight. Why not? And then we'll just chill out and sit back and relax. So, it's not like we had it prepared.
Yeah, my goal is to actually be out of the truck by the end of next year.
That's a good goal.
Doing something else. Whether it's running a small fleet or going all in on the coaching thing.
Right.
Something to get out of the truck. 20 years. I know there's guys that have been out there longer, but I'm sorry. 20 years is a long time to be away from home.
Look, for real. Yes. You ain't going to get me to argue that one. I think I'm at 17 at Swift.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think November was 17. 08 to 25. Yeah, that's 17, right? I don't know. Math is not my friend right this second.
Or at least get a position where I'm home more.
Right. Especially, dude, look, I'm telling you, we did a lot of things, you and I both, when we had young kids, right? Mm-hmm. And it was to take care of those young kids.
Yep.
And we missed a lot of those cool regular things that most people don't miss.
Yep.
And then we're like, oh well, it's cool. I'm just doing my thing and I'm supporting the family and I'm taking care of everybody like I'm supposed to because that's my job. And then later on, now I have grandkids, right? I have grandkids. I have 3 grandchildren, and it is killing me that I don't get to go to the school programs and the award ceremonies now. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
I mean, I feel a little guilty with the kids, but not terribly so because look, we had to pay bills. We had to keep a house, buy them
Right.
their cool things, all that stuff, right? But I feel more guilt with the grandkids for some reason. So, Jeff, beware. That's not a good thing coming. It's a good thing and a bad thing all at the same time.
Well, your grandkids all live with you, though.
Yeah, and look, and I still feel that way. You know what I mean?
Most of us aren't blessed with that.
We've got Rosie's dad, 50, 60 miles away. Her sister and our brother-in-law, under 100 miles away.
Mhm.
We haven't seen either of them in months.
Really?
Yeah, well, when we come home, we've got so much to get done here. I've been really super focused on all the business stuff, and other than being just completely beat and destroyed. And then the last couple of weeks, someone in the house has been sick one way or another, so we didn't want to take that to Pop because he's got his own stuff going on that we don't want to get him sick, and
Right.
oh man, it's just something else. And I don't dig the fact that I can't just up and go, you know what, let's go down to Tampa today.
Mhm.
What's today? Oh, it's a Monday. Let's go to Tampa. No, I'm in Huntsville, Alabama till Monday night, or
Yeah.
whatever. And you in your situation, you're 3 days away,
Yep.
on any given day. I mean, so yeah, I mean, a lot of work Jeff and I are both doing, I think, to get out of the trucks. Look, I love trucking. I really do. And I love driving. It's kind of a drag having to depend on it though anymore. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like we've said before. It'd be nice to be able to drive because we want to drive, not because we have to drive.
Mm-hmm. And I had that for a nice stretch.
Mhm.
I really did. I had that. And then I started, getting loans on stuff and finance this or whatever. And then I went and got a newer truck and then a brand new truck. And you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Oh, God, I did it to myself. I mean, ain't nobody to blame but me. I mean, whatever. But
Yeah, one of the things that was brought up during our meeting, Charlie, was, are you planning on turning in your truck and getting a new truck this year?
right.
Because I got news for you guys that have did a full on lease at a Swift or something. Brand new truck that's a 22 or 23. You're looking at $400 a month more in payments than you were 4 years ago.
Right.
How are you going to navigate that? Have you thought about that? That you're taking a pay cut to get that brand new truck. Right.
Not quite, Sean. Not quite that bad, but yes. He said, so
Yeah.
he pulled a me.
Mm. I mean, are you thinking about that? You want a brand new truck, that's fine. But do you know what it's costing you? Do you know what the new lease rates are?
Right.
And given that it's going to cost you an extra $100 a week for that new truck, what are you going to do to save money somewhere else to make up for that loss? Yeah, maybe paying more attention to the fuel you're putting in, or getting a lower insurance rate, or what have you.
Right.
Do something. Maybe talk to your carrier and see if you can't get a little more reliable routes. Because believe it or not, we see people even at a Swift that end up with these routes that are pretty consistent, right? Even in OTR without going full on dedicated.
Right.
A lot of communication, a lot of relationship building went into that, though. I can tell you that. They didn't just sit back and take it in the rear,
Right.
They made their phone calls. They made what They let people know what their goals were. They were proactive. They didn't just go like a tree in the wind, you know.
Something I'd like people to really focus on now, or should have been, honestly, is getting focused on what your actual cost per mile is. Right? A lot of people think they know what it is, but I don't believe that they do, because if I ask them, they're like, I don't know. You know, I can tell you right now that my fuel and DEF cost per mile is gone up in the last month, and it's not amusing me, even though prices seem to be going down. That's my driving habits right now. That, and I think I got a bad load of fuel here recently too, Jeff.
Did you?
Yeah, I was looking at a couple of my fuel ups, and I was like, God, I'm in the sevens, Jeff. You know how crazy that is for me, and I wasn't even driving fast.
Mm-hmm.
We weren't super heavy. I was like, what the heck is going on? So I can't remember exactly which ones they were. I need to go back and look at, maybe they just that stopped. I'm guessing it was one of the QTs, or, well, I've been using QTs and the racetracks a lot.
Mm-hmm.
They battle. I got a couple that are like, within a mile of each other, and they keep fighting. So that's great.
Mm-hmm.
But sometimes they get a bad load. Just like anywhere else. Yeah, I don't know. We are definitely using more DEF than before. That is absolutely a true statement, because on my 23, I was getting, I want to say 200 miles a gallon, something like that.
Yeah.
And now I'm down to in the 140s, 150s. So yeah, I mean, that's a big difference. But we also know that it's actually helping with all the technology that they got, and it should be helping fuel mileage a bit, which it has been up until, I don't know. I'm a little gun shy because I just got the truck serviced, and the first tank after that had me a little worried because I was empty and I could not get it to climb fuel mileage wise. And so I'm like, I don't know, man. Yeah, I need to do a little more tracking on it. 25 and newer has a new DEF system. Yeah. But yeah, so getting a hold of your numbers, not thinking you have them, but actually, get them down in front of you. Whether it's a digital format, whether it's pen and paper. I would highly recommend a digital format that does some sort of calculations for you, so that you're not depending on your tired mind, right? Because let's be real, trying to pull mass out of your head on certain days is not a good thing to do.
There's days when I can't even use a calculator, bro.
Oh, right. You know what I mean? Yeah. Yeah. That's not, yeah. Yeah. Like Matt said, he's getting 235 in the 22. Now in 26, he's running 157. Yeah. Exactly.
So what I'm wondering is,
I was actually getting more than that, but I can't remember what the number was.
I'm wondering is, because there's always a trade-off in all these things, right?
Right.
Go all the way back to like the Series 60 motors that were pre-emissions, and guys were tuning them and getting them up to 10 miles per gallon.
Right.
And then DPF came out, and those trucks were lucky to get 7.2.
Yeah.
But they were burning cleaner, right? But where's the break-even point? Right. You're using more fuel, so your carbon footprint went up from the fuel.
Yep.
But it went down because of the DPF.
Right.
But what is it? And I've never seen anybody be able to explain that to me, where that break-even point is with the new tech,
right,
and that carbon footprint. It's almost like they don't care.
Yeah,
they're like hiding it from you, because I don't want to use the scam word. Okay, I will, but a lot of this just seems a little scammy to me.
Right.
The manufacturers absolutely did not want to do this to their engines.
Oh no!
You saw Cat get out of the OTR business, the over-the-road business, completely, because it killed what their reputation was these big, powerful motors that were efficient enough, right, to where if you were doing huge over-dimensional stuff, you got that power, but the fuel mileage didn't absolutely bankrupt you.
Right.
Well, DPF comes out, and they tried some other thing, some other tech, and it just didn't meet the numbers that the government wanted.
Yep. Expensive,
So
couldn't
they
get the
threw their
numbers.
hands up and said, "Fine, we're out. We're not damaging our reputation over this."
Right.
So now the only cat motor you can buy is for off-road use only.
Yeah, it's nuts, man. You know,
But I'm
but all of
wondering-
that stuff comes back down into your cost per mile. You know, how are
Right.
you making those decisions?
And that's where I was going is, does the maintenance cost per mile go down,
Right.
but you're spending that money on DEF? Are you spending more money on DEF than the decrease in the maintenance costs because the filters stay cleaner because there's more SCR going on? Theoretically, that should be keeping things cleaner, right?
Right.
But is it enough to lower that maintenance cost by more than what you're spending on DEF? That's the question, isn't it? And if anybody's got an answer to that, please. But I think I'll challenge you, Charlie. I bet there's not an answer to that.
Right.
I mean, you know, you see it on Facebook all over the place. These pencil pushers in Washington, D.C. and California, let's be real, drives a lot of it.
That's where it came from.
Never before seen the interior of a big truck in their lives, let alone driven one.
They can barely think of what they're seeing on the road. All they see is
Right.
a big flat nosed truck spewing black smoke. That's what they see, no matter what truck is driving by them.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But you know, if we really break it down, you know, our single biggest expense in a lease model, mind
Right.
you, in a lease onto a carrier model, our single biggest expense is that fuel.
Mm-hmm.
It's not the truck, it's the fuel. You know,
I got a squirrel thing for you real quick.
go ahead.
So everybody knows about the point systems at the different truck stops, right? And I will maintain that the worst point system out there has got to be TA Petro.
Yeah.
You know what it takes to get top gear so you get all the benefits at TA? 1,500 gallons a month.
That's a lot.
If I was burning 1,500 gallons a month in fuel on one truck, I don't know what to tell you, bro.
Right.
I'm lucky to get into second gear at TA.
Well, now I'm curious, how many gallons am I getting a month? Because I can actually figure that out, right?
Yes, you can.
Let's go over here and click that button. I'm in the right account. Fuel log. I can go to my fuel reports. Duh. Oh, let's see. Let's go to a custom range. And we'll say working my 4 days a month. Let me go back a month. We'll start with November 1st. Close it out the end of November. It's funny, I haven't done this more recently. Fuel analysis. We'll hit click. Only 10,905 miles on that. And that equates to... Oh, I didn't pull that. Dang it. I got costs, not how many gallons. Huh. I'm going to have to add that in, Jeff.
Yes, you are.
I never even thought of it. Look, see, that's how I got to add that to the list. You're going to have to send me an email or something. Remind me, Jeff.
10,000. Let's round it off 10,000 miles, right?
Yep.
And you're at
11,000.
11. Call it 11,000.
Yep.
You're at about 9 miles a gallon.
8.862.
That's only 1,241 gallons.
Right.
So, and you run a team, not full team, mind you,
Right,
of
right,
course, but still, you're doing more miles than I do.
Yeah.
Again, at 1,500 gallons, how are they making a living?
And that would have to be my exclusive stop.
Right.
You know? Yeah. I can't. I don't know, man.
I just
mean, look, if you got a good deal from them, okay, then.
Yeah. Well, I know like Landstar, they've got a special deal with TA Petro. And if our Landstar guys are on here, they can tell me. I know it used to be that you had to call a number to get the fuel prices. They didn't even publish them on an app or anything. But it was good enough to where several BCOs that I talked to didn't even check fuel prices other
Right.
than in state to state if they were running interstate.
Mm-hmm.
They just stopped at TA because they knew it was the best price because of the deal they had with Landstar.
Right.
Which I think is still foolish, even if you know that that's going to be your best price. I still want to know what that price is. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
I
for
don't
real.
like blindly fueling up the truck like that.
I can't believe I didn't put in how many gallons used. That's look.
Well, you know, it's a
Little
work in
thing.
progress, Charlie.
Well, yeah, and I didn't. I honestly never thought about tracking the individual gallons.
For a given
That's a
time
very
frame.
specific scenario right now, right? That we would
Mhm.
need that. You know, I track what's the diesel cost, right? How much did I spend in diesel for a time period? What's the average mile per gallon? What's the cost per mile? And how many miles did we run?
Hey, Sean, is it better than 99 cents a gallon?
Oh my God.
Sean says Mercer has a great fuel deal. It's volatile, but it's amazing.
Yeah.
But is it better than 99 cents a gallon, Sean?
Right. I'm just saying. 9 cents a gallon guaranteed, bro. Stop. What? Could not ever break that guy's head to actually see what the hell he's talking about. He threw all kinds of crazy stuff at me. It was great after that. Yeah. So, okay. So that's on the list of things that I need to fix. Clearly,
Yeah.
I need to add how many gallons we're using of those products. Cool. That'll be fun. That'll be an easy implementation, I do believe. It's just going to clutter up the dashboard a little more. That's okay. Can change some card sizes to make it work better. It's basically 7 cents above their cost of last load of fuel at any particular station. That's pretty damn good.
That's pretty good, yeah.
Yeah. So cost plus 7% or 7 cents.
Yeah, the Landstar deal at TA was something similar from what
Yeah.
it was explained to me. It was a cost plus.
It's just us, Sean. Don't worry about it, buddy.
Our tens and tens of viewers
That's
are gonna tell on you, Sean.
Jeff, did you see in StreamYard that newest update they did?
I ignored it. What did they do? Is there anything like super cool?
Yes.
Something about AI.
Donna may like it.
Oh,
Generating clips right out of our long content right here in their platform.
for what we're paying now?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't know how many. They said there's a limit depending on which plan you're on.
Mm-hmm. That's
So,
gonna be good for a lot of creators.
yeah. So I thought that was cool because it's creating clips right out of whatever one you click on. You can click on in our library,
Mm-hmm.
click, say the latest show, and then go create clips, and it'll scan it. Also, anything that we say like right now, this bit about Sean would be fantastic. Clip it.
Mm-hmm.
The AI is going to hear that, clip it, and
Mhm.
mark this for us later on.
Oh, nice.
Right? Amazing. I'm just saying. It's crazy. I'm gonna go nerd again. This is part of my 2026 year progression stuff. So I think that's okay to share. Not specifically trucking, but it is business. I had a long conversation with my GPT the other day. And it was right after I read a couple of articles talking about agentic AI, right? And that's more of the autonomous AI stuff, going out and actually performing tasks for you without you instructing it to perform this task at that time.
Right.
So you could set up a schedule, say, hey, all week long at 6 o'clock in the morning before I wake up or whatever, go out and pull all the news from this place, and this place, build it into a summary so that I can get a good daily report, from places that I are known to be trusted and unbiased and that sort of thing, right? And it'll do that. That's what agentic would mean. Or it's monitoring, say, on our fuel app, our fuel mileage and maintenance tracking app, right? Agentic would be able to be reading that just randomly whenever it wants to. and say, hey, I'm noticing a drop in fuel mileage here, Jeff. Your miles per gallon have dropped 0.3 of a mile per gallon over the last 3 weeks. Is there something you've done different, or maybe we should look at your fuel filter,
Right.
right? So I dipped into Echo with that and started asking questions about how because Fortune 1000 and Fortune 500 companies are building AIs to do a lot of agentic type stuff. It's not fully there yet, but they're the ones really pushing that side of it. They're building their own custom AIs, ground up, so they can run much more lean, cut their costs, and increase profits. Not to mention, AI just works better than people in most cases when it's trained properly. Right? It's more efficient. It'll work 24/7 for you. It's unbiased unless you make it biased.
Right.
I mean, I go out of my way, and I'm sure Jeff does too. I go out of my way to every now and then update my AI and say, hey, man, you seem to be a little yes man-y towards me. I need you to stop that. I need you to push back and fight and make me think about what it is that we're talking about. I need to know all the sides, not the side you think I need to know.
Right.
And so it does that for me. That's because AI eats healthy, right? But yeah, so I got in these discussions and I was like, how does a small, really small business guy get into something like that? Because, these big firms are spending millions
Right.
to build this stuff. And Echo's like, well, you know what? We're not quite there yet. However, you can start doing some of these smaller tasks, which is what I've been doing for the last couple of weeks anyhow, is, building these individual custom GPTs that are very task specific, and then using an overall agent mode to try and orchestrate it all. The agent mode isn't fully there yet, as it turns out, but it's getting very close. And for $20 a month, man, I've got some amazing tools at my disposal to help me run the back end of the trucking business, to help me, build content, to help me manage, the other businesses that Jeff and I are associated to, and if it's cutting our time on all of those tasks, right, it's making the time we work more valuable. And if we're able to focus more on the things that are really making money, isn't that a win?
Yeah.
Because if we end up with more free time, we have two ways to handle that. We can take that extra free time. Let's say we're gaining, 10 hours a week. We could take 4 hours of that and put that back in as additional work time for product development, marketing, what have you. Take the other 6 hours and make that family time. What's that value? Just saying, and so that's what I'm looking at. I'm looking at ways to streamline all of the back end work and those types of things that we do, Jeff, and other people do. And I really want to work hard on finding or turning our tracker app into more of a trucking specific business AI helper.
Right.
Jeff and I have talked about putting a full-blown AI chatbot into the app itself.
Yep.
And that's something that we think we can do. We just got to we have to have more people involved in the app before we can take that step because of the cost. And we got to be able to offset the cost. It does take money to not program it, but to actually maintain it.
Well, even I was reading a list of jobs that are expected to fall to AI, and you might be surprised that one of the ones that was higher up on the list was accountants, because AI can do that.
Right.
So I know it's kind of hard to wrap your mind around now, but Charley, you were looking into something a couple weeks ago that AI said it couldn't do. And then a couple days later, all of a sudden it could.
Yeah. So, and that's what it was. It
Oh.
was managing those custom GPTs with
Mhm.
agent mode. Agent mode. It was about a month ago, and it was like, no, bro, we can't do that. It sounds like a good plan. Maybe we'll be able to do it. And then I got into another article, got back in with Echo and started asking questions. He's like, oh yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
Then, but here's the problem. Then when I tried to implement it the way that I thought we could,
Mhm.
he went, oh, we're about a step short of being able to do that. But you know what? Keep watching because it's coming.
Yeah.
So it's that much closer, honestly. In less than 30 days, that's what freaked me out.
Yep.
And it just happens quietly. That's the thing, is they don't like tell you that they've dropped this new update. I didn't even know 5.2 hit from 5.1. I just noticed that I was using a different version of ChatGPT one day. It just upgraded to 5.2.
Right.
So yeah, I mean, it's definitely something I'm doing and Jeff is working on as well. A little more me, I'm trying to push him into some of this stuff, simply because he didn't have the time to really build the back end type stuff that I have been doing lately. He's had other things that he's focusing on. I've had things I'm focusing on, and we're trying to bring it all together in the middle. Right. So yeah, I think that there's some good things that could be had and accomplished in this coming year. And I hope you guys are thinking about those things and not just going into it, because I don't think any of us can take another year like we've just had.
Yeah, it's been pretty rough, man.
And look, it's not like I'm some chump. I know what the hell I'm doing. I know what the hell to tell people.
Mhm.
But even doing all the right things, there is a little bit of luck involved. And finding the right carrier in the right situation sometimes. I haven't been willing to switch carriers right now. So, for me, that's on me. But it's been a mother of a year this year. The year before was tough, but it was the first year, real bad year of it, right? This
Mhm.
year, the second year of it has been, the hole's been digging deeper faster,
Yep.
like a snowball down a hill, and I don't think a lot of people are going to be able to survive another year like this. So, what have we learned this year that we can take into next year? And the reality in my brain is we all need to figure out how to cut costs.
Yeah.
I don't know of an easier way to handle it. The
Well,
costs have to come down.
you got things that you can't do anything about, like truck parts are going up in price.
Right.
Labor rates are going up. The only thing that's down year over year is fuel prices. Everything else has gone up.
Yep.
So you got to figure out how to balance that out.
Yeah. Maintenance costs.
Mm-hmm.
We have an awful lot of people out there who, instead of being proactive in maintenance, are reactive to breakdowns.
Right.
Not your best plan there, guys. It's going to cost you 3 times, 4 times as much when it gets to that. I've been taking the truck in, since my 23, every 50,000 miles, get the big oil change every 100,000 miles. I go through the warranty stuff that I have to do. Right.
Right.
And a lot of guys aren't even doing that. I feel like I'm doing the bare minimum, but look at the luck that I had. Is it luck, or is it, because of what we were doing, that I didn't have any major problems with that truck in 23. Right. I'm hoping not to with the 26, following the same things. I still haven't added the Defender product for the DEF because I can't find it in truck stops and I don't want to have to order it. I know it sounds simple and stupid, but I don't know why the hell it's not in the truck stops, and it bothers me. But I think that's going to be a good step. In fact, maybe I'll just get on tomorrow and tonight and order it, so I can start the new year fresh with that implemented.
Mm-hmm.
If it's keeping that system cleaner and leaner, why not? I'll calculate what the cost per mile is on that and see how it does. Is it better? I hope, right? We can get it at Amazon or local Tractor Supply has it. Oh man, I could go check there. I got one down the road. I didn't even think about there. Dang it. Good call, Craig. Craig, coming through with the goods again right there. Look at that. So yeah, these are all little things that we can do that could have a big return in 26. And ultimately doing that will reduce that overhead, reduce those costs to get them into a more manageable thing. I've also been cutting back on some of my personal bills. I've been trying to get things consolidated. There was a ton of things that I was paying for every month that I've decided I don't need to pay for those anymore. I found better tools. Jeff can attest that I am a technology crazy person.
Mm-hmm.
I am absolutely trying every service I can out there to achieve what it is we're trying to achieve. And then I forget I have them.
Right.
And some of these are, just a couple bucks a month. Some of them are $100 a month. Some only hit once a year. And I forget about it till I get a, $500 bill all of a sudden. I'm like, dang it.
Right.
Forgot to cancel that, I guess I got it for another year. I better cancel at the end of the year. And of course I'll forget because that's just the way my brain works. It's unfortunate, but whatever. So I've been trying to limit some of those expenses for myself. But what are you guys doing? I'm trying to get this out of you guys. What are you guys going to do? Based on what Jeff and I are talking about already, has it given you any thoughts on what you can be doing this coming year? What do you think you need to get working on? And maybe what you're doing can help others say, oh, I never even thought about that. Maybe I could work with that too. Right? I mean, that's the purpose of a community, is that we're all sharing these ideas, right? And we all learn from it. And we can all say, oh, a couple of us tried that. It didn't work out so great. Or a couple of us tried that. And oh my gosh, look at what we got. Right? I just said, I wonder if there's something free like Rocket Money can be used to track just truck expenses, tracks what goes in and out, comes out of the account. Possibly. Yeah, I mean, Craig, with these new downspout engines is needed. They're working the EGR and SCR a whole lot more, increasing the amount of DEF being pumped. Working the dozer and DEF pump me more. Yeah. And Sean stating the obvious over here. Miles per gallon in the 6 range is hurting. Yep. I'm just saying. It'd be interesting to see how the trucks, like how a 26 truck would work if tuned to not have DEF at all.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that increase the amount of crap in the DPF though too?
Probably.
Which is always a problem. So you'd have to get rid of that too, and actually let the motor run. I don't know. It's a trip. It'd be interesting to see how that actually played out. I don't know enough about the technical side of that to be able to really make an informed decision. So I don't know. Did I mention Ida said I'm definitely working Thursday night, Jeff?
Oh, great.
She's like, you big dummy. We've got double freight on that night because they're not running Wednesday night. The only thing going on Wednesday is same day loads in the morning, I believe. And then what would have went out Wednesday night will now go out Thursday night. And what was going to go out Thursday night is still going out Thursday night.
Yep.
That's a lot. Whew. Man, it's going to upset some people. It does every year. It's kind of comical. I'm like, look, that's trucking, man. I mean, it's a bummer, but you're on a dedicated account to get you home more frequently. Those are kind of the trade-offs you have.
Yeah.
Oh, not even same day on Wednesday? I thought they were. My bad. There's several engine mods and Delta Tune. We are boo-booed out Friday morning. Okay. I love the words she uses. She's so damn cute with them words sometimes. I just like like a sweet. You just want to so sweet you want to pour water on it and dissolve it and make it go away. Oh. Hey, we're coming up on that. In fact, look, bam, there's the hour, Jeff. I'm gonna let me run the quick midpoint and we'll be back in 50 seconds, y'all. Right here on Contractors Corner. Hey, don't forget to subscribe, thumbs up. Hey, tell people about the show, you guys. Seriously, we really need that. I need you guys to help us out on this one. Anyhow, we'll be right back, and we'll see you on the flip side as soon as I can find the right button to hit, and there it is. You're either running your business like an owner or like an employee, and if you're stuck in that employee mindset, you're leaving money on the table. Company drivers wait for direction. Business owners create opportunities. Company drivers chase miles and just drive. Business owners chase profits and know their numbers. Want to run a real business? Start tracking your numbers. Know your cost per mile and start saying no to bad loads. Drop "I run a business" in the comments if you're done thinking like an employee. If you want to take this mindset shift further, join the Road Warrior Entrepreneurs community at www.rwedrive.com, where we have profit boosting strategies, coaching calls, and real road warriors winning together. And here we are. Here I are. Smart. SMRT. Smart. Yes, sir. That's me. Anyhow, yeah. So I hope you guys are doing well. Feel free to talk about anything at this point. I'm just, I kind of plan on the second half of this. We can definitely talk about business stuff, or I can just tell you that I'm very thankful to have you all in my life. I'm not going to lie about it. It doesn't bother me to share that I actually love most of you. Y'all know who. Those, whatever. I'm not going to pick on the people. Yeah. Anyhow, you get what I'm saying. I'm going to talk myself into a hole here I can't get out of, and good Lord, then people are going to get all weird, and oh man. I'll say this. Ida, I love you. Yes. Anyhow, I got to see Ida first time in weeks the other day, and I was pretty happy about it. Just saying. It's been a minute since I've seen some Ida. Rosie's pretty excited about it too. We really like Ida. She's good peoples. Ida, I got an idea. I want to run some stuff by you that has nothing to do with trucking at all. Has everything to do with your snails. Just saying. Oh my God. Craig said love would make you call us back. No. Because look, there are a lot of people I don't call back. I'm just saying it's not intentional. It really isn't. It's just, I forget, man. Honest to God. I love you, Craig. Craig, I love you, man. You're one of them dudes. I feel blessed to know people like you. I'm just saying. And I don't use the word blessed typically. So I'm just saying that there's power in me saying it. Am I right, Jeff? See, he threw up 2 fists is what I'm saying. I know you're messing with me. It's okay. But I do feel bad. Hey, Nanu.
Crab people.
Wait. It's a lot of work. Shut up. That's my not great handy too. Awesome. I got to think about it. I'm like, now you stretch this way and you stretch this way, and then you go this way, and you two go together. And you see this one try to bend. I'm just saying. Wasn't even talking to that one, but it decided it was going to do some things. Jeff, have you seen the new South Park? Ida wants to know.
I have not.
Oh, jeez. So yeah, here to talk about whatever you guys want. We can actually wrap the show early tonight, or we can keep it going for whatever. I'm going to sit down because my back is getting tired. I'm not going to lie. Getting old. Well, okay, I got old. There's lots of people out there that say I'm not old, and you know what? Fine. I'm not old compared to you.
Yeah.
Look, I got all prettied up today, Jeff.
I see that.
Rosie got me all done up, made me look pretty.
I went and got a haircut today.
Me too. You know what? If anybody out there has a recommendation for one of those wonderful palm bald head shavers, because I know there's a lot of bad ones out there,
Mm-hmm.
and I don't want to buy a bad one for a bunch of money and be pissed off. So I need firsthand knowledge of the workings of some of those. If anyone out there has some information, because I want to go back to shiny. Ever since last week when I saw that one little weird divot right here, Jeff.
Yeah, the one that we can all not unsee now.
Right. Yeah, I got to go shiny. At least until that evens out. Just saying. Oh, ask Teddy what he used. That's a good call. That dude's shiny as hell lately.
Because I'm shiny.
I like that guy, Teddy. He's like a great big. He literally is like a great big teddy bear. You just want to hug him.
Mm.
And then you got to watch out for his cane because he does keep a cane in his hand.
Oh, yeah.
You say the wrong thing and that thing will come out of nowhere. What happened? Wake up. Huh? Who this? New number. Whatever. So was the family happy to see you this time, Jeff? I hope.
Well, you know.
How is Pete doing after his surgery?
He's still in a bit of pain.
Okay. How's his sleep going?
I haven't actually asked.
Okay. I'm curious to see how that goes with that adenoids and all that. You know what I mean?
Well, they said that his tonsils and adenoids were blocking around 80% of his airway.
That's crazy.
So
a 5-blade rotating one. What's it look
that
like?
sounds
Send me a link.
that sounds like something out of Caligula, man.
Right? Hey now. Oh man. I've seen some really cool looking ones out there. You know, they're electric, they fit in your palm, and you know, you just kind of hit it every day and shine it up, right?
They sell one at Love's.
Yeah.
My guess is that that's not a high quality tool, though.
That's what I'm worried about, man. You know? You know what else I noticed, Jeff? I don't know if you can see it in here. Wait. I'm starting to get these old man spots.
Oh, the kidney spots?
Yeah, right?
Yep.
That's starting to bum me out, man. I don't like it, but whatever. Considering I never thought I'd reach 18 or 21, I guess I should be happy that I'm 54 and I'm still here, right?
Yep.
I'm still upright. I'm breathing. I have grandkids that just tickle me to death. Wonderful kids and their spouses, you know.
I'm pretty blessed that I haven't lost any good friends yet.
Right.
But, you know, you look at Facebook and the people that are kind of on the famous side of things.
For real.
There's people starting to die and they're like 10 years younger than us.
It's freaking me out.
You know?
Is that the one Teddy's using? Or are you just sending me random stuff, Ida? Just saying. Ida's already trying to get me to buy stuff, bro. She texted me. Sorry.
Does she have an affiliate link?
Probably. She better if she's smart. I'm just saying. Pitbull. Silver. Pro head and base shaver. USB charge cable included. Huh. Can't see how much it is, but whatever.
You have to ask, you know.
I know. Ida's like, she's like, you could afford it. I'm like, okay.
She knows how much you make.
You know, that's probably true. Just saying. She knows how much she thinks I make.
So something came up that I thought was interesting in the Swift groups this week.
Okay.
Apparently, Swift took away the adverse weather condition.
Been gone for a while, Jeff. I should have told you that. Yeah.
Has it? Huh.
Yeah, with the new tablets, that was pulled out.
Okay.
I don't know if you saw my comment before the show on that thread, Jeff.
Uh-uh.
I feel like I should pull that up so I can tell you exactly what I said.
Okay.
And you can tell me I'm smart, I'm dumb, I'm a jerk face, what have you. Because I didn't
Well,
give an answer that a lot of people are going to
from
like.
a certain point of view, all of the above.
Right? That's fair. There we go. There's the tab. Let me go over here. Oh, let's see. There we go. I found the thread. So the original post was had anyone had any luck getting logs to re-enable adverse conditions? Okay. My response to all of it is the following. Said my advice would be the following. If we want them to give us more ways to use our logs in a legal manner, then convince the rest of the contractors not to abuse what we already have. We'll be lucky to keep access to personal conveyance with the way so many are still abusing it. Heck, we can't even get people to do the simple legal thing and log on duty while fueling.
Right. Yep.
Just saying. That's not going to be a popular answer, but I'm not here to be popular.
Well,
honest to God.
For those of you that think it can't happen, the carrier I work at, Panther, we don't have access to any of that. We don't have PC. We don't even have, well, we do have yard move, but it kicks into drive at 4.5 miles an hour automatically.
And Jeff, as a contractor, must log on duty while he's at a shipper, whether he's in sleeper or walked across the street to get a burger or not.
Yep.
So, talk about getting your autonomy stomped on. Keep screwing up.
Yep.
Bad things are going to happen because they'll put it in the contract and they have every right to do that. Until you get your own DOT numbers, you could try and sue them. You're going to lose that one.
And so here's the thing is I asked someone that I trust that is very deep in the legal stuff on the logs. Like the guy gets deposed all the time on this stuff. And he basically straight up said, look, even as a contractor, it's the carrier's DOT number.
Right.
They can tell you, they can take away access to given log items if they want to, because it's their DOT number, it's not yours.
Right. They can implement more strict guidance. They cannot make it more lax.
That's right. And I looked at him and I said, well, that sucks. And he says, yep, I get it, but they can absolutely do that. I'm like, damn it. I was hoping you'd give me a different answer.
Right. Like Craig said, they're definitely terminating contracts on those PC violators left and right. That ain't the only thing, I tell you that. There's been a bunch of stuff popping up lately that is not groovy.
Well, I always thought it was interesting that companies like Landstar on their advertisements, you notice what they're looking for in a BCO, that's their owner operators, is safe and compliant operators. Right. They put that in there, compliant. And I wonder how many people know what that actually means. Be a professional. I'm not saying that you have to love the hours of service regulations. We all have our little, this sucks about the hours of service, right? But you're a professional. These are the rules that you have to operate under by law. So operate under those rules. It's not that hard, Charlie.
Yeah, I agree. Look, what Craig said right here. This is something to pay attention to. Okay. He knows an owner who just got turned behind it. He got hit at a terminal, and after they reviewed his logs, then they terminated him because of what he had done. Not even had nothing to do with the accident. They did a 7 or 14-day review of his logs and found him to be non-compliant.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't even his fault.
Right.
But now they have to do a compliance review to, it's just the way the world works. You know, you get in an accident, you got to go, out on the road, you're going to get a drug test. Doesn't matter if
Right.
you've never done drugs in your life. You're going to get a drug test.
Yep.
That's just how it is. You're going to blow in a tube for alcohol. They're just going to, chances are they're just going to pull blood to cover everything. That's the smart money.
Mm.
It's insane. And it's these other things that could lead to that. And those little things that you think aren't so big, not logging on duty while fueling, trying to use PC to drive to the shop to get your truck worked on your off time. Those things will get you tagged. Those are work related duties.
Well, again, in the Swift groups, because we're really involved in those, I saw
Right.
another one yesterday asking, hey, I'm like 15 minutes away from my house and I'm out of hours. Can I use PC to go home?
Right.
No, you can't.
Exactly.
That is not a use of PC. Now, y'all, I know there's people out there that are going to argue with me on that, but there's been court cases about this. As a matter of fact, Swift went to bat for some owner operators on this and lost on the PC thing.
Yeah.
So, everybody says that no load is worth your life, right? That's a pretty common thing. Is it worth your career to not be compliant?
Right. And you know what? If you're 15 minutes from home, why can't someone drive 15 minutes to come get you, or you get an Uber?
Right.
I mean, if it's that important.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, Donna drove to Reno to pick Jeff up from Salt Lake in the winter.
Dude, that was gnarly, that trip.
Right. But I'm just saying it was important. So they made it happen.
Yep.
And then drove back to get the truck.
Yep.
Just saying, look, you guys are never going to get me to the point where some of you try to get me to say things like that. Oh, well, yeah, they're screwing us because of the logs. I'm like, you guys are screwing us because you're going to get it taken away and there's not going to be anything we can do about it. We fought for a lot of years, people like Jeff and Craig and I, and just so many people to keep these things that they don't have to give us. They choose to give us, right? We've laid out good arguments as to why we believe they should allow us to do these things. And then we get all these yahoos that go out there and find ways to abuse it and abuse it and abuse it and abuse it until we no longer have that thing anymore. And it's on us. It's our fault.
That's an interesting one from Undertaker. Company I pull for lost our PC, but the DOT took it away from the company.
Oh, there you go.
Interesting. Wonder how many violations there had to be for that to happen.
Right. And how expensive is that to them? Like the fines that they got to get to that point.
Well, you remember, Charlie, when the new PC rules came out,
right?
The whole, if you run out of hours, you can use PC to get to a safe haven. And you and I were on the phone for more than one session because I was trying to figure out if I could use PC working the Walmart account, to get back to the barn. Because the way some of the loads are, literally 10 minutes away, I run out of hours.
Yep.
And we decided, no, that's not cool. But this was several years ago when it was still new and up in the air. And I'm glad that we had that conversation because, it was new. Nobody, and there were guys that were doing that.
Right. And that was like every day.
Yeah.
That was just part of their day.
I mean, literally stopping on the side of the highway, going to PC to go that extra 20 minutes. Get back to the barn. And it turns out that our call was the correct call, Charlie, because people were losing their ticket.
And think about this. Think about when you're running 10 up, 10 down, Jeff, right? And or it would be, closer to that 11 or something or whatever, right? Close to your 14 and then taking 10 off. If
Mhm.
you took that 20 minutes of PC time and started your clock 10 hours after that and got caught, not only did you improperly use PC, but now you haven't had a 10-hour break proper.
Right.
And everything associated to that after, until you have a proper 10-hour break, is a violation.
That's right.
Right? The consequences, the snowball effect can be ridiculous.
Yep.
And one little decision like that, it doesn't happen a lot. Let's be real. People don't get caught very often, it seems like, right?
Right.
But when you do, the consequences are devastating.
Well, and that was part of our conversation, if you remember, Charlie.
Yeah.
The odds of getting caught. Well, I'm that guy.
Yeah, I feel that way too.
I feel like I'm that guy. It's like when ELDs just plain first came out, and I was arguing with people on Kevin Rutherford used to have his own social network. Remember that?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
And I was on there and I was arguing with people. Oh, you can't make any money with an ELD. Why not? The rules didn't change. Are you telling me you've always run 100% legal? And I said, no, I'm not. That would be a lie.
Right.
Honestly, that would be a lie.
Yeah.
But I can tell you that it was very early in my career. And once I figured out what the consequences are, I stopped doing that. Okay. Oh, well, it's people like you that make it harder for the rest of us. What?
Right.
I follow the rules, man.
Yeah.
I still argue with people over ELDs, Charlie.
Oh, I know.
It's not the ELD that's the problem. It's the hours of service regulations themselves. That's what the problem is. An ELD is just a way of tracking your hours. That's it. Now, if you're telling me that the ELD is making it so you can't make that load on time, that means you used to run illegal. The only thing the ELD does is keep you honest. That's it.
Yep.
And I'll die on that hill, Charlie. The ELD is not the problem. I mean, some of these groups, you still have guys saying, well, how am I supposed to find a place to park? I don't know. Maybe you plan your trip.
Right.
If you know you're going to come into West Memphis at 10 o'clock at night, maybe it would have been wise to buy a spot at the Petro ahead of time. I don't know. Yeah, Ida says she honestly thinks that she ran more miles legal on the ELD. And I can make that argument because the ELD, unlike the paper log, remember the paper log were 15-minute increments. ELD is a minute is to the second.
Yeah.
And so I think you do pick up a little bit of time that way.
Yeah, we had the 7-minute rule that we worked with paper logs, right?
Yep. Oh, I took full advantage of that.
Oh, yeah, because I can get in and out of a rest area in 3 and handle all of my bathroom duties.
Right.
I said duties. But man, if I don't log it right, that was a 15-minute chunk of off-duty time.
Mm-hmm.
I just gained 13 minutes, couple stops like that every day. Guess what that means? That means I can make some extra miles. And I was playing by the rules.
Yeah, one of the things I told Donna when I first started driving years ago, I said, this is the first job I've ever had where breaking the rules, which in our case means breaking the law,
right,
potentially means that you can make more money if you don't get caught. Yeah, I was running a lot of I-5 corridor.
Right.
And I'm that guy. As soon as I used to have a lead foot, Charlie.
Yeah.
Like Swift almost didn't hire me because I had so many speeding tickets. Okay. I had to talk to the security guy and explain myself.
Right.
Right. Once I got that class A, I stopped speeding.
Yeah.
I don't even speed in my car anymore. You know, I protect that CDL.
Yeah.
And so I'm running through California doing their 55-mile-an-hour speed limit. Guys are blowing my doors off.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you people, I almost said a bad word. You people.
Yeah.
And you know they're making more money because they're speeding. Until they get caught, because a ticket in California, holy crap.
Oh, for real. Look, yeah, my last ticket was in California for speed in a commercial vehicle.
Oh, was it?
Yep.
What'd that cost you? Do you
In
remember?
a way station.
Oh, did they do the point to point?
Oh, it was gnarly, dude. No. I was legitimately speeding in a way station.
Oh, inside the way station. Okay.
Yes, dude. So wait. Okay, I feel like I have to qualify this statement now. Dang it. So I was running down I-5.
Mm-hmm.
The one up by Shasta, that area, you know, the top one, Dunsmuir, is that it?
Mm-hmm.
The scale lane was closed itself. So the bypass lane was open, but the scale lane had barriers blocking it off in cones.
Mm-hmm.
So they were pulling people in and running them through the bypass thing, right?
Right.
Turns out they were inspecting every other truck.
Oh,
Well,
okay.
they were inspecting trucks as they got rid of one and it left. The next truck in got pulled in.
Mm-hmm.
Fine. No big deal.
Standard for them.
Yeah, revenue. It was a revenue day. California law is very specific about speed.
Mm-hmm.
A speed limit cannot be enforced except on a public highway or a
Okay.
public right-of-way.
Okay.
The California definition of public right-of-way means any vehicle can drive in there.
Mm-hmm.
What does every California way station have posted on the side of the road?
Trucks only.
Okay. I argued in my defense, number one, there was no threat of anyone walking out, coming out, pulling out. There was no slower vehicles. I was a little above the what is it, like 5 for the scale, 10 for the bypass lane or something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I rolled through. I was like, oh, well, dang, the scale's closed and they're not really doing anything. So I just kind of let it roll out a little bit more. I want to say it was like 18, possibly 20.
Mm-hmm.
They threw up the red light in front of me and yelled at the speaker, "Stop, driver." And I stopped before the line. So they couldn't argue that I was driving unsafely and couldn't stop in time.
Right.
Right. Now, granted, yes, I was going over the posted speed limit. But again, California law being what it is, that I knew this, I thought I could win. They just kept postponing until it was just too expensive to drive down there every few weeks to try and fight it.
Right.
And I finally just ended up paying it. Right. And I want to say it was like $400 or $500.
Mm-hmm.
And 3 trips down there from Astoria. So whatever. But yeah, so they had me pull around, did the inspection, and wrote me a speeding ticket, and that sucked. And I was very bummed by that. I wasn't so mad about the speeding ticket. I think the speed, I believe the ticket should have been speed greater than prudent,
Mm-hmm.
not double the speed limit,
Right.
or not 20 and a 10, because he had no radar device. He estimated my speed by eye. Okay. And there's a lot of case law out there that I only know one person who ever got through court as law enforcement and was deemed to have calibrated eyes. That was a North Carolina state trooper back in the 90s.
Mm-hmm.
Who said he could tell you exactly how fast you're going if he's sitting at a standstill without a radar.
Did they test it?
Yes. And he could get you within 1 mile per hour of actual.
Really?
Yes.
That's amazing.
Every single 100%.
That's actually pretty amazing, dude.
Dude. Yeah. So from that point on, if that guy wrote your ticket, you were screwed. That's just how it worked out. And it was amazing because we used to say to people all the time, "Oh, you got calibrated eyeballs."
Mm-hmm.
There is one out there. There was one out there in North Carolina. Anyhow, so they can estimate,
Right.
but they can't put an absolute speed if they don't have a device, whether it be a radar, a laser, or a known distance that they timed.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I know all these things. None of that was true, but I couldn't fight it because they just kept postponing it. And that sucked.
Here's one for you, Charlie. The Ashland way station.
Yeah.
They were checking pre-pass tags
Really?
in the state of California and writing speeding tickets to guys based off of that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, okay. This is another great one. Remember back in the day, Washington was accessing Oregon's cameras and vice versa,
Uh-huh.
and getting people driving on their co-drivers' logs because they had a picture of them driving past those cameras. And they were also getting them for speed the same way because they had them. There you are at this time. Now you're here at this time. That means you were doing 67.2 miles per hour at least.
Mm-hmm.
When the speed limit was 55,
Right.
you know, good luck fighting it. They've got pictures. Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, when you get caught for one of those silly little things, let's be real. Now, look, my speed, I ain't mad about my speeding ticket. I was wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I felt I had a good way to fight it.
Yep.
And whatever. I mean, I tried to use their law against them and they just played it and whatever, man. They did the thing. And, because I wasn't local, it was just too difficult to fight. It was too expensive.
Right.
It was just cheaper to pay the damn thing at that point. And, I think they had me do a traffic school. I think they gave me that option.
Mm-hmm.
And so I got it on the inspection, but not on the license. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So yeah. But that silly little thing, PC and Craig, I got that. Thank you. Craig sent me the questions and answers on personal conveyance. But it's, you use that PC thing. And like I just said, they used to use an hourly mentor to go out and get people that were like 10, 15 minutes away. That's brilliant. If you ask me,
Mm-hmm.
because he could bring the truck back. I'm assuming at that point.
Mm-hmm.
They just add a third to the truck and go, whatever. That's kind of clever, actually. Don't know how legit that is, but that is clever. I like it. But if you were, 10, 15 minutes away and tried to PC back to the barn,
Mm-hmm.
and then you catch that string of all those other violations when and if you get caught, like I just said, that's going to be expensive, man. And Lord help you if there's an accident during that stretch. And if there's a fatality during that, whether you were at fault or not, you are going to jail for life.
Yeah, I remember in the Swift Academy years ago, they always told that story of the guy that they found that he had falsified his logs. He got T-boned by a drunk driver in an intersection. Drunk driver ran a red light, killed himself. The dude went upstate for like 15 years because they were able to prove that if he had logged legally, he would not have been in that intersection at that time.
Right?
Yeah. That's crazy, man.
Craig said he had a Wyoming DOT officer use the West Coast scale plate system during a DOT inspection one day to show him how they can see timestamp and photo of every scale he passed to verify those logs.
Yep.
Doesn't he have to be in the same state? Just saying. Don't screw around. Hey,
well, when I asked,
I didn't want to play the log game.
The reason I know about the speeding tickets at the Ashland scale is because I got pulled in for a paperwork inspection and a log inspection one time. And they were taking what I felt like was an inordinate amount of time.
Right.
So I just asked the guy, I said, do we have a problem here? And he told me what they were doing. They were checking my truck on the pre-pass,
right,
passing all of the scales in California to see if I was speeding. And I asked him, I said, well, how do you do that? You're Oregon, not California. But DOT is a federal institution. So as a commercial driver, they can look at stuff in other states and ding you for stuff. Which I just looked at him and said, okay, well, I wasn't speeding, so you know. But yeah, that was a fun. I have interesting conversations with DOT guys sometimes.
Right. I like talking to them. I'm actually very friendly. Rosie and I regularly stop at Florida Scales because they have really nice bathrooms.
Mm-hmm.
And I sit there, you know, if one of us, because they only got one bathroom, so you know, one of us will be waiting outside the door, right? And I'll sit there and just marvel at the technology they have up on screens, and every now and then you'll get them to talk to you a little bit, and you can have some amazing conversations and learn how not to do things wrong.
Did you see that one YouTuber that went in and interviewed the Florida Scale guys? And
I love it.
He asked him how they do the tire pressure thing.
Yeah.
Because they can tell out on the road if you have a low tire.
Yep.
And he showed them the system they have. It was really interesting.
It was. Man, just the whole thing is amazing. And the technology is
basically taking temperatures of all your tires and running it through the system to see if you've got a low tire.
And scanning brakes at the same time and looking for hot parts. I mean, that's basically what they're doing. They're running a lot of thermal to see, you know, if one brake is glowing hotter than the rest. One tire is hotter than the rest. That's an absolute sign of problems. People look at me funny, Jeff, because every time I stop, I get out and I touch the sidewalls of all my tires as I walk around. And I've had people like, bro, what are you doing? You're not doing anything with that. I'm like, I'm actually seeing if any of them are lower than the others. If the temperature is equal, at least I know that they're all equal.
Do you still have that temperature laser thing?
Yep.
Yeah.
Little electronic thermometer deal with the laser, and you point that, boop. Yep. I haven't used it in a while. I haven't felt the need. But that was a good thing because I used to, you know, check my rear ends, check the tires, check the brakes, check the rims, right? Something dragging is, you know, anything that's dragging is going to be Narc said I like hot parts. You know, if anything's dragging, it's going to create more friction, therefore more heat. And that's how they're finding that stuff most of the time. I just said she knows a man in Lake City who killed someone while in the truck, and they found out that he falsified his logs, and he did 10 years. I mean, that's gnarly.
That's what I used to tell my students when I was mentoring. It's like, look, this log stuff, you know, especially the guys that were having a hard time with it. I'm like, you've got to get this down because this is like serious go to jail stuff.
Right.
You don't do this right and something happens. You find yourself, you know, wearing the orange jumpsuit for a couple of years.
Right. And we are absolutely held to a much higher standard and should be. I believe we should be. Again, that's not a popular stance in some crowds.
Right.
I don't know what to tell you. You know, I had look, when I was in law enforcement, full disclosure, I did not write speeding tickets. I would stop you for your speed, but I would not write you a ticket for your speed. And here's why. Back then, I was 21 years old, and I liked to go fast. I felt like an absolute hypocrite. I couldn't do it. I couldn't write you a ticket for something that I did on a daily basis. So that was not something that I was ever going to do. You know, DUIs, on post DUIs, not different world on post. Okay, let's just talk about this for a minute. I would not prosecute for DUIs. I thought I could do much better for them. I wasn't letting them off, I assure you. Anyone who's been in the military knows I was not letting them off when I tell you that I drove them to their barracks. And I had CQ either call the first sergeant, and if he didn't answer, the sergeant major. And required that individual come to the barracks to sign for that individual.
Yeah, you were definitely not letting them off easy.
Right? Okay? Because first sergeant major, they are not going to be amused by the fact that they got called down there at 3:00 in the morning because your silly self was out there driving a little tipsy.
Yeah.
You know, I actually had to prosecute one DUI, and that's because a patrol supervisor came out and said, "You're gonna ride it," and I had no choice. That sucked. He got a good lawyer and got out of it. I'm just gonna say, he was kind of a jerk, but whatever. But they didn't get tagged on their driving record. It didn't ruin their career. It did cost them some money, a whole lot of sweat, and a bunch of free time. But it didn't ruin them, right? For that, oh my God.
Hopefully they learn something.
Right? Look, there's Sergeant Major and First Sergeant get on you. I'm just saying, you will not forget. And if you do, the next one's on you.
Yep.
So I don't know. But yeah, I believe that, you know, them holding us to a higher standard is absolutely necessary. You know, it's a big thing in the industry now. Look at everybody, you know, screaming, why didn't we enforce the English language speaking thing? Clearly, we're holding CDL drivers to a higher standard because we don't require anyone else driving on the road to actually speak and read English.
Right. Did you hear what Texas is doing? They're downgrading non-domicile.
Yeah.
And I read an article about this dude. He started his aggregate company back in 2002. It's been non-domiciled this whole time and just got his license downgraded.
Right.
How do you own a business? He's got like 5 trucks and not take care of that, knowing what's coming down the pipe.
Right.
Now, the other thing I thought was interesting about this article is, you know, the non-domiciled CDLs doesn't mean he's illegal here.
Right.
Okay? He's here legally, but there's things going on with those guys. I think he's probably going to be okay, Charlie.
Right.
The article, of course, was trying to be a gotcha on the Trump administration.
Of course.
But he owns 5 trucks. He's got an aggregate business. Owns 5 dump trucks. I think the dude's probably going to be fine, even if he's not in the seat.
Right. Right.
He'll just get another driver to drive that truck he was driving.
Yep.
You know. But yeah, I was just talking to before we had our meeting, Charlie. I was talking to Tony about
good night, John. Love you back, brother.
Way stations are being asked to do the English language test right there, and then if they don't pass, to call ICE.
Right.
And whatever he was reading was a little bit wonky to me, but this is another one of those things, Charlie, like ICE coming into truck stops.
Right.
Now, I run mostly the East Coast these days, but I run a lot of, you know, Alabama, which is one of the states that's supposedly doing this. Not so much Florida, but Georgia, Alabama,
Right.
all the way over to Texas is where I run primarily. You know, I have not seen that once in my travels.
I haven't
And
seen
yet
it yet.
you look on social media and it sounds like it's every truck stop all the time, all day.
Yeah, I've seen people talking about, oh, Florida way stations and ag centers, or I go to the damn ag center every night. And every day we go through it on the way out, we go through it on the way in, because we pull a reefer. We must enter unless it's closed, period.
Right.
We don't get bypass. It's not an option. You know, and I've never seen ICE there, but they did train those people as well. Apparently they cross-train them in that immigration stuff. So I don't know, but I haven't seen anybody in that type of situation that I can say, oh, that was one of those instances.
Right. And, you know, and again, unpopular opinion, I don't know, we might get canceled for this one.
Yeah.
I got to tell you, the news articles I'm reading about people that are getting picked up, they've been in the country for like a decade.
Right.
You guys remember the Obama administration, right? A lot of these guys were here before Obama, and now they're getting picked up. You remember the Dreamer Act that gave amnesty to everybody that came into the country before they were the age of 18? Well, now 20 years later, right? These guys that got amnesty during the Obama administration, they still haven't gotten a green card.
Right.
They were given amnesty, man.
They were given everything they needed to actually go through the process and become a legal citizen.
And they didn't do it. I don't understand that. Someone please make it make sense. You know,
Undertaker said he's actually seen ice in Indiana scale houses.
okay.
Yeah, I have not.
Yeah, I haven't seen it, man.
I'm not saying it's not happening. I'm just saying I have not.
Well, I think that, you know, it probably is happening,
Oh yeah,
but
I
not
mean, Oklahoma's on a
scale.
tear, bro.
Not to the scale that you see on social media and
Right.
certain news outlets.
Right.
And it's one of those
Any of
things.
those outlets like CNN. I'm just saying. My bad.
Oh, for crying out loud, CNN. I do follow them, but it's under
Well, 'cause
duress.
you gotta know what everyone's saying. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, so here's the thing, though, folks. These rules have been in place since I read one thing. I since like the 1930s.
Right.
Before there was even a CDL to drive a big truck and do commerce, you had
Chauffeur's license.
chauffeur's license, right? You had to do the English proficiency thing. And I've had this. I have friends that are on the other side of things from me, and we have arguments, but not like I'm never going to talk to you again. That never happens with my friends. We just talk about stuff. I'm like, here's the thing. Just because they decided they're going to start enforcing the law doesn't mean that you hate a certain group of people.
Right.
Because it's not a certain group of people other than people that are here illegally. And I'm just going to come out and say it, Charlie. It's not just people from south of our border.
Right.
You know, it's not. So to bring the whole "you're a racist" thing,
Yeah.
it's dumb. It's not a race of people.
Well, remember, not too long ago, I was called a traitor and a racist because I voted for Trump.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was a traitor to the country. I was racist. And there's something else. I can't remember what it was. Good riddance to that person. I'm just saying, because I came back in a not so pleasant response that even had echo saying, man, that was a lot, bro. You kind of really stepped it up there, right? After I ran what I did respond with, Echo's like, yeah, that was a lot. Go there. And you know, I lost that person on Facebook, but that one really triggered me because, you know, I served to uphold the Constitution.
Yep.
I would never blast you for who you voted for.
No.
I believe that's your choice. You have reasons. I may ask what the reasons are. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
Well, that's some of the best conversations I have with some of my friends that do vote differently than I do. Well, why did you vote for that person?
Well, I wasn't a traitor. I was treasonous.
Okay.
Right.
For exercising your constitutional right.
Right. Oh my God. Yeah. Oregon person, Jeff. That's all I need to say.
Oh yeah. But you know, I have one of my I would say he's my best friend. We don't agree on politics.
Right.
But we have some really interesting conversations. You know, he'll listen to my point of view, I'll listen to his. And we have lunch together, you know, a couple times a year.
I love hearing the conversations afterwards because Jeff builds me in.
Yeah, the conversation always turns to politics because that's who we are, you know. But it's always informative. You know, part of it with him, and I'll just say it. Part of it with him is that his adopted children are Mexican, so he's got a totally different worldview than I do on a lot of this stuff.
Right.
You know, and I think it's good to get that other point of view. I really do.
Yeah.
You know, you and I have talked about this what's going on, and I have empathy for these people. I do feel sorry for them because I'm a human being. However, there's systems in place, and there's been opportunity aplenty to make things right with the regulations. And I had a conversation with my daughter, the one that I call the weird one, about this, about the immigration stuff.
Right.
And I said, well, if you don't like it, change the law. That's the way
Right.
things are supposed to happen in this country. You change the law, and then my opinion on it really doesn't matter. What I'm saying is that there's a law. If you don't like the law, change the law.
That was like there was a big blow up on the floor in DC one day. What's her name? The lady that runs DHS. I can't think of her name. That's terrible. Whatever. But one of the senators or what have you was chastising her for enforcing the laws, right?
Mm-hmm.
And her response was, "This is your fault, not my fault. You're in a position to actually write and change laws. So if you don't like what I'm enforcing, change the law."
Yeah, I saw that.
Seemed like a pretty straightforward, clear-cut argument.
Yeah.
I'm doing my job enforcing the law that we have.
Yeah. And that's the way it's supposed to be done in this country is you don't like something, you try to get it changed.
Right.
And there's a process to do that.
And it's absolutely possible to do. I mean, we've seen laws go multiple directions.
Yeah.
Prohibition.
Mm-hmm.
The people spoke. They changed it.
Yep. Yeah.
I don't know. It's crazy.
So you people like us, Charlie, we're into the whole law and order thing. And that's the solution. If you don't like the law, okay, change it. And then, okay, that's the law now.
I even argued this from a biblical standpoint at one point, Jeff.
You?
I did.
Okay.
I can't remember the scriptures precisely at this point because, it took me doing some research to get the answers, right? Because it was a religious reason why we shouldn't be deporting people. And I argued that, from what I remember, and then I went and did the research and pulled up the exact scriptures. Again, can't remember who it was, what section, chapter, verse, what have you. None of that right now. This was months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And basically what it said is, yes, you are supposed to welcome in guests to your country, your territory, your village, or whatever, right?
Yep. Uh-huh.
That are there legally.
Yeah.
You must enforce the law of the land. And it was worded fairly similar to that.
Yeah.
And if they're breaking that law, that established law, whether it's the law of God, what have you, whatever, or the law of the land, because the law of the land is what actually dictates people at this point.
Right.
Then, you remove them. Period.
Mm-hmm.
And oh man, you should have seen the backlash I got on that one. That was gnarly. It was something else. I'm like, look, I gave you scripture, bro. I'm arguing your own book.
Yeah.
I don't know why you're mad at me. Don't pick and choose. I found this. Why didn't you? And I'm just a lowly heathen, whatever. Yeah, I mean, there's just a lot of stuff. Exactly. I'm like Jeff. I'm human. Jeff's not really human though. I've seen just how poorly I feel poorly. Lots for illegals live with no way to fight back. That's one of the biggest reasons I'm so against it. Like Jeff said, we can have empathy.
Mm-hmm.
Sympathy is not a requirement, nor is it something that I have at this point. There are ways
and
to do
that's
things
the other
legally.
thing that a lot of people that are so against what's going on. I read an article recently where ICE was accused of taking children out of their beds and they were all naked. Well, here's a question for you, Charlie. Why were all the kids naked?
Right?
Why didn't they have pajamas on? Well, it turns out that this was a sex trafficking ring. they were saving the kids.
Right.
You know, the
Thanks, Craig.
you know, that's the thing is I don't know. You have to be careful with this topic, Charlie.
I know.
But the quote illegal population gets taken advantage of.
Absolutely. Look, I just, commenting on it directly right there.
Mhm.
Can't tell you how many mothers with children her grandmother fed and helped. No running water, no safe electricity in their homes, or worse yet, the owner of the shack would just turn it off on them.
Yeah.
But you know
And
what?
they've got no
You know how we
recourse.
can stop that? We can control the border.
Mhm.
I-
Well, you know, I think I've talked to you about this too, Charlie. I think that I really started looking at this several years ago during Biden, when we had the record numbers of people coming across the
dear
border.
Lord, yeah.
And here's another question people don't ask. Why are they coming? What's going on in their home countries that they feel like it's worth the risk?
Especially with the way it's going on right now.
Especially the way it's going on right now. You know, people in the United States don't understand, I think. We have it really good here, man. Really good. You know, as much as we want to complain about our industry of trucking, the economy, what have you, we have it really good here in the United States. We're not looking to go to Canada for a better life. Most of us. There's some people that might do that for political reasons, but
Right.
but you know what I mean?
Look, man, so many of these people, they get on here and they're, oh, we're the land of the free, home of the brave, and we welcome no, it does. I saw a post today, someone said, the Statue of Liberty has a sign on it that says everybody welcome. I'm like, no, it does not. There's no such sign. I've seen it. It doesn't say that.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, bring us your tired, your huddled masses, blah, 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 right?
Mm-hmm.
And where did they go from there? Straight into the immigration process.
Right. You know, when there was mass migration to the United States in the early parts of the 20th century, Ellis Island, the whole Ellis Island thing.
Right?
You know how many people were turned away? It was a lot.
Yep. Put back on the boat they just came off of. Direct line back. Good luck paying for it, by the way.
Yeah. You know, it's like, again, I read an article, right? You know, this fantasy we have of how great it must have been in the past. It wasn't that great. You know, for us, Charlie, people say the 80s were great. I don't know if you remember the 80s, but there was a recession on.
Right.
You know, I remember my folks.
There was a great amnesty program in the 80s, just saying.
Yep. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, you look at real history, Ellis Island. People were turned away by the millions.
Look at the reasons people were turned away. No skills.
Mm-hmm.
Like no skills whatsoever. No means to provide for themselves.
Right.
Disease.
Yep.
Women who were found to be pregnant were turned away.
Yep. Criminal record.
Criminal records. I mean, God, we're gonna get so canceled for this one, bro.
It's something, I think it's important to talk about, though, Charlie, especially with what's going on in the industry. A lot of people, I've been seeing guys with their own authorities saying that they're seeing freight rates go up a little bit.
Right.
So that's good for those of us that are legit, I guess you could say.
Mm-hmm.
We've known for a long time that there's a glut of trucks on the road.
Absolutely.
Too many trucks. This Charlie, we've been in the industry for over 20 years, you and I.
Yeah.
Has there ever not been a driver shortage, according to the news.
Right.
That's such a lie.
Exactly.
We got too many guys out on the road. So I think this
There's
is
a driver
probably-
shortage to keep rates or pay low.
Yeah. You know, according to the mega carriers, there's a driver shortage because they have a 80% turnover.
Yeah.
You know? So, but the statistics don't lie. Again, I feel sorry for the guys that this is affecting. You know, I'm seeing reports of people lost their livelihoods
Yeah.
over this. I still maintain, though, that it was unnecessary if they had gone through the proper procedure.
Right.
Just because we chose not to enforce the law for a couple decades doesn't mean the law isn't there.
Right. And that's the thing. It's not new laws. Wait, we could dip into another controversy here, Jeff. How about the blowing up of drug boats?
Oh, yeah.
Who likes that topic? I can offend a lot of people with this. I'm like,
well, you and I have
Make
talked
us
about
support.
it.
And
You know? Yeah, I mean, it turns out that there was a law that was sponsored by Chuck Schumer back in the 1980s.
you said what?
Yeah,
Chuck Schumer, the big outspoken Democrat dude?
yeah, him.
You know, the
That
one
actually-
thing that we should not be doing things like this now because it's murder.
Yeah, he's the one that made it legal.
Just saying. My bad. Oh, Jeff, this is I actually enjoy conversations like this. I know that it hurts our viewership when we have conversations like this. I'm getting to the point now. We've been doing this enough years now, Jeff. I'm starting to not worry about it so much.
Well, so for those of you that are left, I'll clue you in a little something. Our coach Josh has actually advised us: don't pull punches.
Right?
You know, the people that are going to listen to us are going to listen to us because we are who we are. So I think we'll not shy away from some of these conversations as much.
Yeah, I would expect us
and-
to
And you know, if you disagree, put it up.
right?
You know,
Hell,
let's
I'll
have a
give you a link to
conversation.
it on the show.
You know, let's have these conversations and get some stuff hammered out for ourselves. Because you know,
Nothing wrong
like
with good debate.
like I always say, there's nothing that we can do about what they're doing in Washington. The only thing we can do is things that we can control.
Here's what I would ask in that situation, Jeff,
Mm.
is that because we all know people that it is their way, period.
Mm-hmm.
They're not open to hearing any other side. They're not willing to learn or possibly learn anything.
Right,
If you're one of those people, I ain't got time for you.
right.
But if you're willing to have a real conversation with some real back and forth and actually listen to what, you know, myself or Jeff or someone like us might have to say, and we would in turn reciprocate, right? We could actually learn a lot from each other, I think. Maybe we can find middle ground. You'll never find middle ground as long as it's A or B.
Right.
That's just that's crazy. I think in 26, Jeff, we should lean more into that. I believe, whether we do or not, we'll see what happens. I'm getting a little crankier in my years, Jeff,
Yeah.
and a little less concerned about what some people think.
Yeah.
Because in my personal life, in my private life, I don't care.
Right.
I'm not trying to offend people, but I offend people almost every day in my personal life. I don't apologize for that. I don't apologize for having an opinion that differs from yours, that you think now I'm a treasonous person, what have you.
Right.
I can just in turn say, see you next Tuesday.
Yep.
On that, Jeff,
We're
What you
going to
got?
wrap it.
Yep.
Keep that rubber side down, folks. And remember, with no action, there is no traction.
Look after each other. There's no one out here looking after us but us. I love you guys. Merry Christmas to those of you out on the road. Apparently, I will be on the road Christmas night. Ida has spoken. Mama Ida said so. So I will be there. Rosie and I will be out there pulling freight to your local Target stores if you live in Alabama, Georgia, or Florida. Just saying. You're welcome. We're bringing groceries. And I look forward to seeing you guys just before the new year. We'll probably do a show that Tuesday. Don't know how long it'll be, but whatever. We'll see you guys then. Only 8 days left to the end of the year, y'all. Think about what you're going to do this coming year. We'll see you then.